Muy buenos dias. Good morning. I hope you are well, staying positive and focused on what you can control. Bienvenidos. Welcome to Cafecito con HACE. Drop in on the chat where you are tuning in from and use this opportunity to network, to connect with one another as we engage in today's Cafecito. My name is Patricia Mota. I serve as President and CEO of HACE, the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement. Our mission to positively impact the workplaces by cultivating the community of talent, providing insight, access, and support to be successful in their careers. Check out our website for opportunities to engage with HACE programs and events. Specifically, we have several seats across the nation for our Mujeres de HACE Entrepreneurs program. So make sure the deadline is approaching on October 10th, that you share that free opportunity for Latinas to grow and scale their business. And we're also hosting a Latina Equal Pay Day event, so make sure to check that out and join us. So I'm going to jump right in because we are super excited to welcome our special guest, Claudia Romo Edelman, today. She's been a longtime partner to HACE and friend, and we're thrilled to have you during no other than, especially during Hispanic Latino Heritage Month, just ahead of Latina Equal Pay Day. So we can't think of a better guest. Founder of We Are All Human, Claudia, bienvenida. Good morning. How are you today?
Bienvenida, muchas gracias por permitirme estar aquí. Thank you so very much. And a warm invitation to everybody to just join the membership of HACE and We All Grow. I'm going to be the first one to sign up for your Mujeres Emprendedoras as an entrepreneur in a new life. We all need to be in this together, and doing it in a group and guided cannot be better. So very happy to be here with you and to extend an invitation to everyone I know to be part of your group.
Wonderful, Claudia. And we've got folks joining us. Bienvenidos. We got someone from Fort Lauderdale. Bienvenidos. So first thing is first, this is Cafecito con HACE. So our primer pregunta is, how do you like your cafe or your morning beverage of choice?
Oh my God. Okay, so my first beverage of choice would be 100% cafe. But in reality is that I know that I cannot go with 10 coffees a day. So I start with hot water with lemon every day in order to detox and clean the system and then get ready for a cafe negro and then cafe cappuccino, but all day cafe.
That's too funny. I think we have a similar process in the morning. But también igual, I do the apple cider vinegar that I add for the water and the limon. Hola, we've got Alina, our board chair, tuning in from Los Angeles. We have San Antonio. Bienvenido, Javier. And I hope you are enjoying your cafe or your morning beverage of choice. One of the things that I love about our Cafecito is we get to showcase leaders and how they have broken barriers and continue to break barriers. Claudia, tell us about your background, your cultural, professional background, and how you got to where you are and you continue to strive to become, because you've done so much.
I thank you. I am Mexican, daughter of really strong women in my family. My mother was a professional basketball player that became an economist once she had children, lost children, and at some point in her life decided she wanted to be an actress. So I am the result of someone that defeated destiny and decided to take life on her own hands. And it's not that my mother was less, but she was
Mm,
fear-free. And I think that when
mm.
you see someone that is petrified, but nevertheless is going to take her decisions anyways and say, like, I will manage fear as opposed to let fear manage me. I think that that's pretty much the result of who I am. I'm a marketer for social causes inside out. I've done that through the diplomacy. I work for global organizations like the United Nations, UNICEF, the World Economic Forum, but pretty much always trying to win the hearts and minds of people to unify a single dream and to move together towards making things better for everyone.
And that you have done, I know since I don't know, when we met 6, 7 years ago, and you were starting the work to unify specifically with the Latino community and bringing us leaders to the United Nations for the first time, which I am forever grateful for because I think it's been an amazing platform, and also many of us to the World Economic Forum, right? And so I think that really elevating and unifying leaders across the nation, which is incredibly important, especially now more than ever. So thank you for all of that. And from your work in marketing and PR, board member for many organizations, to founding We Are All Human and Hispanic Star, and now as a podcast host for A La Latina, you've consistently paved the way for many to uplifting and championing Latina leadership. So what drives this entrepreneurial spirit in you? And were you ever unsure of your path?
Oh my God, I was always unsure. Are you kidding me? Look, I mean, like, there's thinking about this opportunity to talk to you. I want to highlight a couple of things. The first one is, it was 7 years ago. I just started the World Human Foundation. I was walking in blind. I didn't even know that I was a Hispanic until 9 years ago. I was like, I'm a happy Mexican. What are you talking about with this invention of the label? And so when I just moved to the US. But in the first year that I set up the World Human Foundation, you were kind or brave enough to invite me to be a keynote speaker at one of your summits. And I remember seeing myself described. You have to understand, it was the first time in my life in which my name appeared anywhere. Because at
Hmm.
the UN, you either get credit or you get things done. And I'm a doer. So my name, I was always invisible. I was always the one that was writing the speeches for someone else to give. I was never on in front of the scene. I was always behind. And then I saw my name in your program, and you described me as someone who's making waves. And
You are.
I remember distinctively that I thought about that, and I was like, yeah. And you know what? We need to shake a couple of trees and make a couple of waves, and make a couple of waves, because what I understand is that the reality of Latinos is strong, is powerful, and is positive. But the perception of Latinos, it doesn't match the reality. And I'm a marketer for social causes. So that's an area in which I think I can bring value, which is to try to bring these two pieces together. And when I launched the World Human Foundation, I launched it with the United Nations, and it was something global. And from the first moment on, I've been facing the wall, right? Like, you don't know what you're going. And, like, I remember a couple of Latino leaders, once I started getting into the space, they said, like, please put your head here so that I can get my machete and cut it in two, because, like, this is not for newcomers, and you're coming and you don't know anything, and you want to make a lot of waves, but you need to understand, like, the environment. So you humble down and you learn. And like, I think that for entrepreneurial spirits, for people that are impatient and that don't want to wait uh,
Hmm.
to correct something that is wrong, it's hard sometimes, because you want to push the gas, but then you have to, like, it's a little bit of a dance. We had 2 3 moments of almost bankruptcy at the World Human Foundation. The first one at the very beginning, where I said, I have no more funding, everybody should leave because I'm not going to be able to pay salaries. And I remember that people said, like, okay, how long is it going to take you to come and get the funding? And I'm like, I don't know, 3 months. They're like, we'll stay, we'll really believe in what
Hmm.
we're doing. And that is what propels me, the trust of someone that is like, I'll go without a salary for 3 months because I believe in you so much. And so when you have the trust of people constantly, I travel the country and I see people that tell me, listening to your story made me believe that I was bigger than the wings that I had, or seeing the data allowed me to uncover a business opportunity for my company that allows my Latino community to move forward, and therefore now I'm promoted. Those are the stories that propel the constant facing the world that anyone that is doing an entrepreneurship or social entrepreneurship work faces in day-to-day basis.
Oh my goodness. Rompiendo barreras, breaking barriers over here, Claudia. And we've got a lot of great comments in the chat acknowledging, your story, what you just shared in terms of your voice and being the voice that we need in rooms. Anna Chapi on here and love fear free. I think another thing, it's like it's not, and the other thing that I think is so critical that you mentioned, it's not that the fear is not there, right? Because I think everybody has this. How are you managing that fear, and leveraging it as fuel, and then leveraging the impact that you're having when people telling you as fuel, right, to continue to push forward, and then people that believe in you and in your stories and your trust that will continue to support you along the way, and that I
And
think that's
and
powerful.
if I may,
Hmm.
one thing that I probably learned from you at the very beginning, we were doing this for a long time, the 10 by 10. But it's like when you're able to get perspective, right? Because we're so we're so abused in so many situations, like, right, like particularly Latinas, we're not paid enough, we're not recognized enough, we do twice as much, and people don't see what we do at home, don't see what we do at work, don't see what we do for society, like they don't see what we do for or like it's a constant level of sacrifice that we do that goes unseen.
Hmm.
I I remember that when I met you, you put things into perspective for me. And just remember historically, every revolution starts with a small group of people that believe in the same thing and they're gonna hold hands and they know it's gonna be bruisey, they know it's gonna be nasty, but you know your place in history. And our history, what we have right now, is way easier than what our ancestors had. Whether you're in, from Mexico, Colombia, whether you're third generation, sixth generation here, the biggest job done was of our ancestors. They
Hmm.
hands 2 to 3 jobs to make sure that we have the opportunities we have today. We just have we're the transition generation. We have it. We are the first one to go to college, the first one to have, like the opportunities we have, the first one to that ever even think that we can have wealth, multi-generational wealth. So what we need to do is understand that our job is to finish the job
Hmm.
someone
Hmm.
sacrificed for, that we have to finish the job so that the next generation doesn't even have to think of this, so that they can feel and live, feel, respected,
Yeah.
valued, well paid. So we're the transition generation, and that comes with some bruises, not with blood, with some bruises. So when you're feeling down, suck it up and remember the place in history that you have, which is to transition and to finish the job. But let's never do it alone. Let's do it together. The way that you, Patricia, does with your as a family, with your we all grow family, which is holding hands and understanding that it's going to be hard, but it will pass and we will conquer.
Ah, and one thing, thank you for saying that, Claudia, is like there's no doubt in my mind, and because of the work that we do, that and the data shows in terms of the challenges that Latinas are facing, that's one thing. But in our current state and climate, that Latinas are feeling the grunt more than anybody else. But I truly do believe that it's Latinas that are going to be the ones that are going to get us and society to that better place, right? And I love that, when we have those challenging days and time is to reflect on our history, right? Los sacrificios from whether it's our parents and the generations before, is has been helpful for me, and I hope it's helpful. I would say that it's helpful for many others as well.
Perspective, historic perspective, and data. And then story,
Hmm.
role models. Because if you look at the data, what you just said is like you feel down, but then you get into the data and you feel good. Because if you start thinking about it, we're like 9 million Latinas. I mean, like we're almost 10 million Latinas. 80% of the purchasing decisions of our community,
Yes.
which is $4 trillion. Imagine that
Yes.
we manage almost $3 trillion purchasing decisions every day. We generate more than $125 billion with small businesses, and Latinas generate small and medium businesses 18 times faster than any other group in America, 18 times faster than any other group in America. So whenever you feel doubtful, you remember we generate more jobs than
Exacto.
anyone else,
Exacto.
18 times. So that should
Use the data and the facts as part of your toolkit to self-advocate, to advocate for others, ¿verdad? Claudia, let me get to this next question. And so I know those of you in the chat, ask any questions that you have, network with one another. But you've built an incredible global platform, Claudia, the kind of systemic change that doesn't happen without pushback. So, what barriers did you have to break through to get organizations and leaders to truly listen and invest in elevating the Latino narrative?
I've been a marketer for social change my entire life, and you always have to start with a problem that you want to solve, and understanding what are the issues, what are the outcomes that you want out of those issues. If there's a problem, what is the outcome, the solution that you want, and what actions can you truly solve, given your assets and your position. So it it took me a long time to understand what were the problems that I could try to solve, because there's so many problems, right? Like there's so many issues with Latinos, so there's so many issues everywhere. So identifying what are the issues that we could tackle, what are the outcomes that we want, and what kind of actions we wanted. And we wanted to face the first 5 years of the foundation. We wanted to tackle, number one, the fragmentation of the community as number one, because that was really, really, really strong. Only 10% of Latinos felt unified. We wanted to tackle the lack of understanding of Latinos of their own contributions to the country, so raise awareness of Latinos towards Latino data. And number three, how corporate America would engage with Latinos so that they can feel that they can be themselves. So when you understand those are the three areas, I'm going to work with corporations in order for them to make more inclusive environments. I'm going to work on raising awareness of Latinos and unifying. Then you start putting a set of actions, and then you go with the arguments that you need, right? Like, so what kind of like theory of change do you want to develop? And with corporate America, it was a business case. It was not about charity. It was not about DEI. It's never been about that. It's about like understanding that if you want to sell in the future, you have to talk to Latinos today. If you want to hire today, tomorrow, that
Yeah.
in 10 years. So it was about understanding what is the language that is going to get, what is the argument that is going to get you to that place. And I am super proud to announce and to share with you that in the last, from 2018 to 2025, the awareness of the Latino community has grown from 14 to 77%. We know how powerful we are. Now we know. Now the question is, what are we going to do with that influence, since no one else seems to notice? I
Mm,
think that we have seen a big backlash in corporate America on the, like inclusive environment. So we shall actually stay very smart, very strategic, and very calmly understanding that
yeah.
new environment to move forward. But I think that the unification is also grown dramatically, with Latinos feel by far more conscious of the fact that united you're stronger and you move more. And there's that elbowing and that, like pushing each other is lesser so than before. I think that the task right now is, how do we unify forces in a much more challenging environment to educate the rest of the population about the power of Latinos? So it is time for everybody to become a factivist and to make sure that we are using the facts. You don't have to be an activist like myself, but you have to be a factivist. I've been advocating for this concept for the last 10 years. I've been using it for 20 organizations in the past. It works all the time. Flip the script from small to big, because that's who we are, and then use the facts to become a factivist to make sure that everybody knows. And once we have that, we have to transform decision makers into allies. And I think that that's where we aim to go for the next 5 years.
Wonderful. And I know your team, you've been putting together a toolkit every year that has with these facts and the data that we can utilize and be a fact, so that everyone could be a factivist and be able to share and advocate again for yourself and for our community. We've got a few minutes left. I want to ask you this question because we are days away from Latina Equal Pay Day, which is on October 8th. And as you mentioned, right, we are a force in our economy. There's still that pay disparity that we're looking at 58 cents in terms of full-time women compared to white male counterparts to the dollar. What are some of the positive signs of growth you've seen for Latinas in business, especially in the leadership levels?
So with Latina Equal Pay Day coming through, everything that we have as Latinos is growing hockey stick form. Like our purchasing power, the size of our economy, the number of jobs we create. The only thing that is not growing as fast is the salary. that we get. The only thing that is not growing that fast is the value that we have, the visibility that we get, the recognition of our values. So I think that on the positive side, I see more and more Latinas conquering intermediate spaces. We're everywhere
Mhm.
pretty much. I mean, like we're finishing school more, we're educating, we're aligning more internally. It is a challenging time. So a lot of Latinas are moving away from being in a salary base and becoming entrepreneurs. And that's where organizations like
Mhm.
your help so much, and joining forces in the way that you and I are happy to start discussing even more how tools like A La Latina, the podcast, where we interview the women, the Latinas that are in the C-suite of the Fortune 500
Mhm.
companies, how they come down with their playbooks, and how we, having that content, we can use the incredible distribution channels that you have with your membership at HACE and with that We All Grow, so that everybody has the networks, the playbooks, and the role models that they need to push that salary upward, so that instead of being 58 cents of the dollar, we can actually get to parity to at least women in general.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Claudia, I want to end with any, positive story or what you're most hopeful for, a last word that we can share with our audience here today.
I think that my super positive story is that there's a new Latino. I mean, like from
Mhm.
5 years to now, we have been like we have turned on the light. We have changed the distorted mirror. We're by far more self-aware. We're by far more empowered. We know our data. We know our influence. So keep on illuminating yourself. Tell the data to other people. Become a activist to everybody, so that everybody has that power, and then we can get organized to move forward. We have the hispanicstar.org that has all the data available and free for everybody, so that you can use everything that you need. PowerPoint presentations ready to talk to your marketing department, your HR department, to talk in a dinner setting with your church, with your sports team. The 10 by 10 that we started 10 years ago is paying off. And I think that that is what gives me a lot of hope, that the more we are that know, and that we're ready to take action and be part of the difference, understanding that this is a win-win-win. If you get engaged, you win for yourself, you win for your organization, your company, your enterprise, and you make everybody win with the country as well. So this is a moment to become an activist, flip the script, and join forces, so that we can take someone with us and move forward.
Claudia, thank you always for your leadership, your time, and your passion, and just everything that you do for our community. I think you've touched on this is it's not just supporting that one Latina or Latinos, but it's for at the end of the day when we do that, it's for everyone. It's for everyone at the end of the day when you look at our country and globally, right? So continue to engage in the chat, ask questions. This video will continue to remain here. Leverage the resources that Claudia shared. Claudia, mil gracias for your time and your insights today. Y a todos, hasta la próxima. Until next time, take care.
And see you at the Hispanic Leadership Summit, Patricia. Can't wait to
Yep.
see you in New York.
See you
Very
soon.
soon. Bye.